Hey guys, I'm back! Welcome to Journey to Illustration with Rachel Anderson. I'm Rachel. Sorry that I've been gone for 2 months. I put aside my illustration work for a little while to really focus on my drawing and painting fundamentals, and I did 2 skill cycle challenges for the Watts Online program, and even won one of them. The skill cycle challenge I won the first month. I did 2 intensive figure studies in charcoal, and you can see the winning one here. This drawing took me a lot of time. It was probably about 12 to 15 hours. It was really awesome to win that first month. I got an intensive critique back from Jeff Watts on one of my gouache paintings, and it really helped push me forward. And I also got a gesture animal painting from one of the instructors at Watts Atelier. That's Tom Babby's painting right over there. Yay! It's so pretty. The second month I didn't win, but that's okay. I'm really excited for the people who did. And I really learned a lot, and everybody else really pushed their skills forward, and that was exciting to see. And my final drawing for month 2 took me a lot less time than my drawing for month 1 did. I went from a 15-hour figure drawing to an 11-hour figure drawing. But I can always move forward and improve more. I am taking a break from this month's skill cycle challenge to work on other more businessy stuff, but I'm planning to still do more studies. And I've still done a lot of painting in these last 2 months. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm still doing about a painting a week. Since I last filmed, I've done about 4 gouache paintings in the Zorn palette. You can see one of them back there. And I feel like I've learned a lot from these 4 paintings. My first painting was a little chalky. I feel like I wasn't really confident working in color yet. I was mixing in too much white in my skin tones, but in later paintings I really learned how to warm it up a bit. In my second Zorn study, I did 0 blending and left it completely tiled. My third painting I did completely independently with the reference photo that I found in the Watts Online forums. This one was submitted for critique by Jeff Watts, and he gave me a lot of fantastic pointers, especially with the hair and with softening up the features a bit. And I was in the middle of working on my last gouache painting when I received the critique too, and it really helped, especially with the hair. The hair was awful until I got the Jeff Watts critique about keeping my values closer. And so after that critique, I went and looked at a bunch of other gouache painters and how they did hair. Mainly Harold Anderson and Tom Label. They both have a fantastic grasp on the medium. And it was really cool seeing how some of the old school illustrators really handled aspects like the hair and the skin. But it was still a really tough painting, and I still got stuck on it eventually. Put it away for 2 weeks, and then came back to it after I'd done a few monochrome studies. And that really helped. When I actually got around to finishing it, it went much faster than I originally anticipated. As for the monochrome studies in oil, I've been doing a lot of those. I've done 6 so far. I've done 3 burnt umber pickouts of the skull, a sorrow head, and a cast, all from the profile view. And then I've done 3 burnt umber and white paintings, again of the skull, a sorrow head, and cast from a 3/4 view. It was a little tricky at first, and I'm still getting used to working in oils, but it is also so much fun. Like I've stated previously, working in oils is just the best. I can spend 5 hours in front of a painting and have to be reminded to take a break, sometimes longer. I've also started working on Head Quick Sketch this week, even if I'm not doing the Skill Cycle Challenge, which is on Head Quick Sketch. And it is killer. I've repeated most of the lessons 2 or 3 times just because they're so tough. Getting a whole head in 5 minutes or shaded in 10 minutes is incredibly tough for me. I generally like to take my time, go slowly, correct things, and just kind of play it by ear. You cannot do that in a quick sketch. You have to intuitively know where to place the line, and that is tough for me, but it is also really helpful. So I plan to do as many of those as I can. But I also do have some new priorities. I gave my 2 weeks notice at Dress Barn, and Saturday was my last day. 2 days ago, I began completely redesigning my website, and there's a lot more work that goes into that than I originally anticipated. I want to do a new spot illustration for my website logo. I want to get a store envy site up. I want to completely redesign all my social media sites to be more cohesive with my website. I want to start doing this vlog again regularly. And I need to re-photograph all of my artwork so I have some actual content to share. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to slow down anytime soon on school. After all, I have 20 more hours in a week now. Should be fine, right? I hope so. I think it's going to be a lot more upfront work. And then once I get that taken care of, it'll be more manageable. But school for this week. So that first Zorn gouache painting that I did, the one of the girl, I thought it hadn't been graded, but it turns out it was. I just had failed. Whoops. But that's okay. My teacher thought that my original drawing for it was a little off and that I could do better, and I have to say I agree. So I'm actually super excited to get to redo it this week. I've also already started another gouache painting of Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock from the Daredevil show. So dreamy. I just finished the pencils on that yesterday. So I'm going to do both of those if I can. I'd like to do some Phthalo Blue monochrome studies for my Portrait Phase 1 class. If I can at least get to the skull and the Asaro head, then I'll be happy. And I plan to keep plugging away at Head Quick Sketch. It's a lot to get done, but I have a schedule and I'm going to try to stick with it. So I know I still owe you guys a challenge video. And I'm planning to still do one, but after that, I'm going to do away with the challenges and just focus on doing the work. No excuses. Later this month, I will attempt to do a realistic drawing of Hiccup from How to Train Your Dragon, and I will post the process video of that. Fun! But first, business stuff. So that's all for this week. Sorry I tried to cram so much into this episode. And again, sorry for abandoning you guys for 2 months. I won't let it happen again. If you like this video, you can probably subscribe here. I think the subscribe button is on this side. And you can also leave a comment down below. You can also find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and Facebook. Links for those down below in the show notes. See you next week. Bye-bye!